You're the props. Hey, oh, we're live.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
Hi, everybody.
welcome. Hey, there's another episode of I Don't Make This Stuff Up with Thomas J. Bellezza and J.D. McGibney. Now, the whole point of what is this? What is our show about? What is our show about? This is season 2. We're deep. We're so deep into this episode.
That we're into a second season.
Yeah, it's a second season, and it's like, what are we gonna do with that season?
We're so deep into the show that we have decided to change the location to up our ante, as they say.
Yeah, we were like, where can we find an abandoned location that has a nice backdrop? And we decided
the Legion of Doom, obviously.
The Legion of Doom.
Hence all the the red and the black.
I see the red and the black. That's racist. Hey, before we get started, let's adjust some things. Why don't you push the knob further away from you a little bit? I guess I don't know what happened. Once I got into position, we want to do a nice. Just let it go. I'll tell you when. Oh, keep going, baby. Keep going. All right, that's good. Actually, bring it back a little bit. I think I know what's going on. Okay. All right, that's sexy. Let's see if we match. Yeah, it's almost a match. I think I'm just. Oh, you know what? Push the screen. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. All right, I have multiple cameras on my phone. Multiple cameras. It has a 2 on the front, 2 on the back.
Ooh, so you got a four-way camera going on.
Yeah, I like my cameras like I like my women.
Reversed and forward, and also 4 of them at the same time.
4 at the same time. Now they don't like that with me, so it's usually just me thinking about it. But I know what I like. Anyway, what's your name? JD, right?
I mean, sometimes people call me Tim.
The McGibney. No, so we're officially a deep into season 2 with episode 3. 50. What do we have left? 49 episodes to go for the season. So, what is this show about? Why do we even do it? Like, why should audiences even care? I know I don't.
I mean, I feel like most audiences are just like,
I just need an answer from you. Just let it come out. Don't sit there silent. Just say anything. Go ahead.
Well, I think
no, seriously, don't just. I can't. No, I'm sorry. I won't interrupt you again. Go ahead.
Well,
but they want to know, so I just need you to get it out. Go for it.
They want to know about cake recipes, obviously, because we have a wonderful slew of cake recipes between the both of us.
That sounds compelling.
And we also sometimes break down things within the entertainment industry that might not be so well known.
When you say break it down, right? Like when you're like, hey, let's break it down. Do you mean like
breakdancing?
What do you mean by breakdancing, though? You mean break it down like it's a hardcore song?
I mean, sometimes. I mean, at least that's what I'm doing in my head half the time when you're telling me things.
Yeah, I know you do it in your head. This guy, it's better than doing it in your butt. That's what I heard. I don't know. Some people like it, though. I just saw a funny Tic Tac. Let me tell you about it.
A funny Tic Tac?
Yeah, so a Tic Tac.
It's one of them orange Tic Tacs.
It's a Tic Tac. So this guy is like, he's hanging out with 2 of his buddies, right? And he's reading on his phone, and then his girl comes by, and he goes, hey, baby, isn't it true? Girls really like it when you lick the booty. And she was like, that's disgusting. Get your crazy self out of here. So she leaves. And then he gets a text. He goes, oh, my girlfriend's having trouble. She fell in the toilet or something. So he goes in the bedroom and she's just sitting on the bed like, oh, you like licking the butt? Huh? And he was like looking back. And then he's like, yeah, I got time. I'm just saying what we think is disgusting isn't always disgusting. It's just we don't want other people to know that we're crazy. That's true. Have you ever licked the butt?
Maybe.
Like that? Was it like that?
Yeah.
Because you're doing it right.
It was very
You're supposed to chew it. You know what it's called, right?
Wait, what?
You know what it's called when you lick the butt?
What is it called?
It's grocery shopping. Eating that grocery.
That makes sense.
Also, it's a callback to your cake reference because the butt is known as the cake.
Oh,
so
I learned something.
When girls have a nice big cake, cake, I'm gonna eat that cake. You ever hear that Jay-Z song? Cake. Round. I think it's round or pound cake. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You don't remember that?
Maybe I do.
You're making me nervous.
You always make.
I don't have time for this. No. So what is the show about? Tell us. And where's my flannel? All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I think it's definitely too warm for flannel because this sweater was a bad choice for down here. But yeah, we talk about things within the entertainment industry. We also drink lots of coffee, sometimes tea, and we're trying to get that Pepsi sponsorship.
What do you mean we talk about the entertainment industry? What does that even mean?
It means that we normally talk about things, occurrences, people within the entertainment industry, and we try to educate the people that tune in either via the YouTubes or the.
I'm
listening
tuning
streaming
out.
stuff.
I'm tuning out.
Who are you?
So let me get this straight. Wait, I'm trying to figure out something.
What are you figuring out?
Let's see. Oh, let's
Did
see.
you figure it out?
No, I'm
I can't
trying
see
to-
it because the thing's behind me.
You don't have to look at it. Now you can't see it. All right. Anyway, let's go back to me. Let's go. I'm trying to learn a new. I'm trying to be the producer, the engineer, and the host with the most, but it's difficult. I got 17 fingers.
Normally, people only have 10, so I think you have an advantage.
Honestly, I think there's actually a way I could go through this with numbers. I'm gonna have to look that up because I remember seeing that I could actually just sit here and go doot, 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 and it'll let me go through it. I believe. Let me see.
That'd be cool.
I'll have to check it out later. There is an option to do that. That would make it so much easier because I just boop 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 boop. Anyway, what's your name, JD? So
Steve.
what is the show about?
The show is about us talking to one another, breaking down some misconceptions within the entertainment industry, and educating our audience. So this way they can grow their careers, work together, grow together.
Phone is made. Oh, where's your phone? So you change. So basically, for the second season, we're changing the format, just so I understand. I just want to be on the same page with you.
No.
All right. Well, you said it's about breaking down the misconceptions of the industry, but really, I thought it was us discussing business brain versus artist brain, and through that, we're discussing different avenues of the industry. But misconceptions are a small part of that. But the basis was, I thought I am the expert and you're the novice when it comes
that's
to.
definitely how the dynamic is.
But that's what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, but it's the business brain breaking down.
Yeah.
The artist brain and all the misconceptions. Unless I misunderstood what was going on.
Well,
in which case, we're having two different shows at the same time.
Yeah, but it's not always the misconception. Sometimes it's just the point of view, or maybe we want to see how the artist develops a project, or we want to see how the business brain will make a project successful, right?
Fair enough.
So it's not always the misconception. That's a small part of what. But I was under the assumption that the show is, and it loses it sometimes because sometimes when we're having a conversation, you no longer are the artist, and you take offense to the artist's reality. And you don't want people to understand that you were at one time naive to the industry.
I was very naive to the industry.
So when I point those out, sometimes you get a little quiet or you get defensive or whatever the case may be. Now, you go ahead. What? You're gonna be defensive? Go ahead.
I've already admitted that.
All right.
I have had misconceptions, and I still have plenty of misconceptions.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of the show is that you're not defending the artist brain, but you're allowing us to see that you still think like an artist, and sometimes remember the days of being an artist. Whereas it's been so long since I was an artist brain that I forgot what it feels like to think that my art will make me royalties. So.
I mean, unless your art decides to on its own go to Amazon and buy you a little tiara, then
look,
I think that counts.
That's the way it is. I like what artists are like. Look, I'm going to create something. It's going to make me money. I go, whatever you create will never make you money. And they go, what do you mean? Metallica makes money with a CD. I go, but they're not making money because they have a CD.
They're making money because they have a brand.
What is their brand? Do you know?
Metallica.
You're making me nervous. So you're saying their brand is Metallica? Well, explain that. No, go ahead, artist boy. No, you're supposed to not know the answer correctly. So let me hear what your answer is, and then we can clean up the misconception of the artist brain as you put it. So go ahead. What do you think it is? So their brand. Go for it.
A bunch of four guys in a band who just don't give a damn what anybody thinks, and they go out and do stuff for themselves, but they also do good for the world. Because fun fact, they have a bunch of charities.
So that's how they make money.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm assuming that they make money because all four guys own businesses outside of Metallica, but Metallica itself is a brand in which they license out their likenesses, their name, their images. They license out their music to stuff. They partner up with different things. They get paid for appearances.
And that's why their albums make money.
That is not why their albums.
All right, well, that was what I was asking. And you said it was their brand. And I said, all right.
Well, then I guess I didn't do a good job of summarizing the brand.
I'm just saying, what is the brand?
Well, I already said what the brand was. So I gave you the four guys who don't give a damn and, kind of just do stuff for them and they enjoy life and do their thing.
And that's what makes them money.
That's not what makes them money.
That's what makes them money.
I'm going in circles, so I don't have anything else to add. So I think the artist brain has proven that that's the extent of the knowledge for Metallica.
Did you know that 75% of women cannot have orgasms with a JD? All right. does that mean if you have 75 women, sexual encounters with 75 women,
Wait, wait.
75% of 75% would be what?
I feel like the math would
50%?
be easier if it was 100 and then 75 women and then 25 women.
Yeah, because you're like 75 of them. I couldn't please. Isn't that an insane number? The more women you make love to, the less have orgasms.
I mean, that is crazy to think about.
That's how statistically speaking, right? Like that's so insane. So it's basic. By the way, I like that earlier you were like 75% of 10 is 6. But if what's 75% of 100?
75.
So what would 75% of 10 be?
7.5.
That's right. That's right. It was just funny earlier when we were talking about this statistic. We were looking up things because we're bored, and I need to prove points to JD, and I won. So like,
I wasn't aware that there was a.
But you were like 6.
Whatever.
6. All right. Anyway, back to a brand. So you're saying Metallica. So when an artist goes, well, I have this thing. I'm gonna record this album, or I'm gonna write a book, or I'm gonna draw a painting. That's what makes them money. And then you
tape a banana to a wall.
Tape a banana to a wall. And then you countered with, no, it's the brand. So how does the brand make them money?
Because the brand is what people connect to.
Okay. So, all right. So now you're saying people connect to the brand and that's what makes them money.
Yes, if enough people are connected to the brand. If you have one person that's connected to your brand, that's not really going to make you a lot of money.
Now, how do they get connected to your brand if you have just the brand? Because you said the brand makes them money.
People want to participate with the brand and they want to buy things from the brand that they believe in.
All right. So this is why business brain always outweighs the artist brain. So let's say JD hypothetically has a brand. Let's say he just created one now. Let's call it the Black Cap Academy. Are you making money right now? We just made a brand.
Nope.
Well, you just said the brand made them money.
I said I should have adjusted to saying having a powerful brand will make you money.
Okay. All right. Well, how do you make a powerful brand? Tell the audience.
By marketing.
We're gonna get to what with the show in a second because this is leading to it. So by marketing. So is brand is what makes them money?
You have to market the brand this way people know that the brand exists.
So marketing the brand makes you money.
It will eventually, potentially, if you do it properly.
So it's just the brand. By marketing the brand, you will make money. So if we start telling people the hat exists, the hat company exists, you'll make money.
Well, if you're selling the hat.
Well, maybe we're selling something, anything. It's just attached to the brand. It doesn't matter what we're selling, right? Do we have to be selling something to make money?
We don't.
Well, how else can we make money?
Well, we could license something.
All right. Now, why would someone license from us?
We could have a service that we provide.
All right. Why would someone hire us for a service?
Because they like the brand.
So I like your hat brand.
Thank you.
But am I giving you money for it right now?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm assuming that you don't want to purchase anything, and I also don't have anything that I'm offering for you to buy.
Yeah, but it's not about. So you think
give me money for?
You think the exchange of money is buying?
Well, in order to make money, someone has to give you money.
Is that true?
Or you have to invest money into something.
Oh well, it sounds like you're trying to invest into your brand, right, to grow its value.
Yes.
Because you said it has to be a super powerful brand, right?
Yes.
All right. So do I have to give you money to grow that brand?
You do not.
All right. So I don't understand.
I didn't say that though.
Oh, what did you say?
You asked me how do I make money?
Yeah, and you said brand.
Well, you would have to have a brand that somebody wants to give you money for.
Is that true?
Yes.
Why do they want to give you money for it?
Well, there's different reasons. What's your brand stand for? That people are connecting with it.
So you have to have a brand that people connect to.
Yes.
And that's how you make money.
I mean, you could just
this is insane.
Take their wallet.
All right. So let me get this straight. If I spend $100,000 marketing my brand so a lot of people know it exists, will I make money?
Do you have an avenue set up for them to give you money?
Sure.
Well, then
you're the business guy, so I'm just trying to understand.
Apparently, I'm the business guy today.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, then yes.
So I would make money if I spent $100,000.
If you have an avenue for them to give you money, let's say you're selling a service or you're selling a product. Or
let's say we're selling a product. Let's say we're selling the CD of.
Wait. Can we sell chairs that are shaped like hats?
Sure.
All right. So our hat chairs.
Our hat chairs. We're gonna advertise the hat chairs for $100,000 into advertising the hat chairs. Will I make money?
If you have a good marketing campaign that is attached to the advertisements,
What's a good marketing campaign?
Something that allows people to connect emotionally to what your guys are going through.
All right, let's say we have a really good campaign that people are emotionally interested in. So I spend $100,000, which I invest into the brand, but not the chairs. I'm investing in the brand, right? I just want to make sure. Am I advertising the chair? Am I advertising chairs, or am I marketing the brand?
You're marketing the brand.
So we don't even care about the chairs.
I mean, we care about the chairs.
Why do we care about the chairs?
Well, that's what they're buying.
Oh, okay. So
But
now they're not buying the brand.
They're buying into the brand.
Yeah. So what's the chairs have to do with that?
The chairs are a physical connection to something that they feel emotionally attached to.
Is that true? So they're emotionally attached to the brand. That's why they want those chairs.
In theory, yes.
So do we have to show the chairs in the advertisements?
We can. We don't have to. We can show people.
Well, let's make a choice. Let's make a choice.
Then let's go. Yes. Let's show pictures of or videos of people enjoying the chairs and
All right. So we have to have a product in your business plan.
For this example, we don't have to, but yes, we're choosing to do that.
All right. So they're going to see the chair and they're going to be like, I'm going to buy that.
Or they're going to see the people enjoying the chairs and they're like, oh, I want to participate instead of
I want to enjoy that chair. So how many people do you think would see $100,000 worth of marketing?
I have no idea.
Well, let's just come on. You've already done numbers. You already figured out a plan.
I'm going to say roughly
1 million.
3 million.
3 million people will see $100,000 worth of marketing.
Well, for like $10 to $15, you can have a couple thousand people see an ad on Facebook.
Is it one ad?
It's the same ad being seen multiple times. So I guess technically
to 3 million people. You're going to use the same ad for 3 months to the same 3 million people.
You can have diversity because you would have to do a market analysis.
So you want to use different ads?
Yes, because you would need a...
All right. What's the first ad?
I don't know. I didn't do a market analysis.
Well, you're already 100% wrong, but I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. So
wait, what was the name of the company?
It doesn't matter.
It was something Black Hat. Something.
Black Hat Co. Right?
All right. So my first thing would be.
What would your first thing be?
Be a guy and a girl with sunglasses, both wearing ties, but in
is it a Mai Tai?
bathing suits?
Is it a Mai Tai?
On the beach in those really comfortable chairs.
And what are they doing?
Relaxing and enjoying themselves on the beach in those comfortable chairs, but they'd be kind of half fancy because they'd have the fancy sunglasses and the ties.
Okay, and they're in the chair.
They're in the chair on the beach.
Okay, all right, good. I'm excited about that. What's the second ad?
Let's see. Something involving a spy.
Ooh.
And
carrying the chair around with ease.
No, he ends up having to jump out a window or something, and ends up having to land in the chair, and it saves him.
Oh my god! All right, great. False advertisement. What else?
Well, it says you. Now
you have to worry about the people suing you because they jumped out of a window. They're like, I thought the chair was the safest, Hey. All right, what's the third one? We're already going to lose money on the second one, but what's the third one?
It's totally worth it.
It's totally worth it. Good. What's the third one?
Let's do another one. What's another one? I'm lost on the third one.
Just make something up. It doesn't matter. They're all wrong. Just you could literally like a cow walks around with a chair.
Someone taking a dump with their feet up with using the chair as a stool.
Wait. Is the stool the chair?
The chair is also doubling as a stool while they're pooping.
So the stool itself is poop.
Yep.
Stool? Well, you sit on a stool.
Oh my god, the stool.
All right. So now
we have a new product.
Now your $100,000 is divided by 3. So that's really what? 33,000 basically. What is that?
Yes.
Is that 6 9? Yeah.
It's
roughly 33,000, right? Now, let's say 3 million people saw all 3 ads. That means 1 million people saw one ad, and 1 million people saw another ad, and 1 million people saw the next ad. Let's assume all 3 million see the same 3 ads. every time you market the first ad, as soon as that's done, which it obviously would run less time now because we multiplied it by 3 or divided it by 3. So you can't run all 3 ads for the same length because you only have $100,000, right? So now the first ad is going to be seen by the 3 million people. And then once you show the second ad, what happens?
It's another 3 million people.
You're starting over. You're starting your marketing over. Marketing in itself does not create return. It's just marketing a brand also does not make you money. And money is not necessarily what you're trying to earn with a brand, especially in the beginning.
But sorry, tongue-tied.
Yeah,
This instance, we're giving it's not necessarily marketing. We're talking about advertisement, correct?
Well, yeah, because you said you want to market the brand, so and you chose commercials.
Yeah.
So I'm just going with whatever you say. I'm trying to understand, because you were like, you need to get people to see the chair, and I was like, all right.
No, I said you need to get people to connect with the brand, and
All
then
right.
I felt.
How do you connect with the brand?
Led down a specific path.
All right. Well, how do you connect with the brand?
Through marketing.
Well, marketing is brand development, but how do you connect with the brand?
I assume that you have to make it as personal as possible, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just.
Okay, we make it extremely personable. We're sitting in a room. We've decided that the brand we have is extremely personable.
All right, you want to start by networking, marketing, and practicing with the school store.
But what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah. I mean, we already have an idea what you would do. You'd spend a lot of money on nothing. If I gave you $100,000, what would you do? I'd make a film.
No. Oh, I mean, if I got $100,000 at this point, I definitely want to make a stool.
The stool. You put stool on top of the stool. And we also, as a gift, we'll give mints and we'll call them excrements.
I know we're joking, but this is literally one of the best ideas we've ever had.
No. My cousin made the excrement joke.
But
he probably got it from somewhere, but it was so funny when he said it.
Oh, God.
All right.
We need to do this. It needs to happen.
So if I hire you, you're going to cost me money. Does a CD make money?
It does not.
Does a book make money?
It does not.
All right. Does a brand make money?
A brand does not make money.
That's right. But you were saying a brand does make money. So now we're back to that.
I chose my words poorly.
Don't drink that friggin' water. You'll turn to a skeleton. From Indiana Jones' The Last Crusade. He chose poorly. Yes, it'd be a cup of a king. No, he was a carpenter. It'd be a poor man's cup.
No, it was lined with gold.
Well, they did that because it was healthy. You can eat gold, you know that, right?
I know. There's like, what is it? The vodka that has like the little gold.
And
there's a burger.
There is a burger. They cover it in gold, and yeah, it's really healthy for you.
Is gold actually healthy for you?
Yeah, look it up. Look it up while I talk and educate the audience.
Right,
anyway, what's our episode about today, by the way?
Something about.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
Hold on.
What does it say? What's that say?
When creating with the artist brain is misled by the business brain.
When creating with the artist brain is misled by the business brain. So what does that even mean today? Well, I decided to do it because everything JD just said is artist brain dictating success, believing that art will create business. A brand by itself does not make you money, just like the products a brand sells. In most cases, the only reason Metallica became as successful as they are, you have to connect the dots. And a lot of their dots had to do with what? Relationships.
Especially coming out the gate.
That's right. And that relationship dictated who they were as individuals, which ultimately ended up becoming the brand of Metallica. Because I know for a fact there's no way Lars and James sat down and says, what are we going to stand for? But they did draw out a logo, but a logo isn't the complete brand. It's a symbol to recognize said brand. However, the brand has evolved over the years. But the reason people are even interested in Metallica is because it started with relationships. It started with having a relationship with them. In turn, it developed the brand relationship. So it went from friends to family to associates to now people were telling people, which is third-party introductions, which is also about networking and growing, right? But how does a brand do that in general, And the problem with artist brains is they think, I need to make money. What is my skill craft? my skill level and what do I provide? I'm a musician. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. Whatever it is, an actor might say, I need to act. I will make money because that's my craft. That's my skill. But does acting make you money?
Acting does not make you money.
Can you make money with acting?
Yes.
How do those statements both work?
Because acting itself will not get you money because
Yeah.
acting is just a thing. It is the act of doing
Yeah.
something. So therefore, it is literally unable to make you money. But you can make money with acting because you can receive money for acting. You can receive money.
So you're receiving the money because you're acting.
You're receiving the money because you built relationships
All
to
right.
create opportunities.
So that means you
But the acting itself is not going to make you money because
Yeah.
you can act for free.
you can act for free, but if you're saying acting won't make you money, but you can make money with acting, that's literally that's negating the first statement. Because with acting, I could be paid for my services, but I'm being paid because I qualified as a service. So it was everything that I did leading up to the moment they said action that allowed me to be paid. It's not because I'm the best actor. Trust me. There's a lot of people out there that are acting that are not amazing actors, but they still make money. I used to do theater for a year, and in that year, there were people. I was just starting out, and there were people where I was going, these people need lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I never said that to them because they loved just acting, and that's all I cared about was that. Except sometimes they'd be like, "Hey, I'm just doing this for fun. It's a hobby. If something comes out of it, great." And that's the mindset of a lot of artists that I've learned.
I think that
dealing with.
just from personal experience, hearing that that phrase bothers me because it seems that a lot of more people say it than I feel really should be saying it because I think a lot of people get dissuaded by people that people whose opinions they look up to, and I think a lot of people it comes back to the whole like people telling others to have a backup plan or have a plan B because they don't necessarily think that everybody can actually make it within the entertainment industry, not realizing that there's a lot of opportunity for literally anyone that wants to get in.
Yeah, what I've learned over 20 years of dealing with individuals about the idea to succeed and using that comment is actually that they don't have the motivation to do it.
That too.
It doesn't come down to people saying you should have a plan B, because what do? They have the motivations to set up their plan B, but they're still not giving their plan A any effort. And the reason is because it's exhausting to think I have to do this, and to succeed. Yet they'll do that for plan B. Everything they do to make a successful career in a plan B is everything they should be doing for plan A, but they don't think about that. And the same, you went to college, which means you invested in plan B, yet you didn't invest into plan A. You didn't put the same exact money and time and effort that you put into plan B that you did to plan A in the beginning.
The reason why I did that is because I attribute it to being young and naive and not really knowing how anything worked. And all of the advice I'd ever gotten from most people was to have that plan B because until I met you, you were literally the first person that I met in my entire life that had an understanding of how everything really works. Like even like my aunt is is a lawyer within entertainment, so she deals with everything like all over the place, especially on the business side. Like even her perspective is you have to get lucky, and you're literally the first person that I ever met that said it's not about being lucky, it's about actually thinking about this like any other career.
Yeah.
And everyone else before I met you always said, oh, you're gonna get lucky, if you get lucky, stuff like that. And that's really what dissuaded me. So I'm like, okay, well maybe it is all about luck. And then when you put things into the right perspective, I realized it wasn't about luck. It's really about people doing their job, which is to network market practice and to run their lives like a business, run their band like a business, run their career like a business.
Well, let's break up what you did with college though. When they told you to have a plan B, right? I'll just tell you what you did because I know, even if you didn't say anything, the process was somebody said you need to have a plan B. You said, well, I like history or whatever it was that you like, right?
Actually, my career path with college was I started off going for audio recording. Went to a school.
5 towns. We won't mention it.
Oh dear God, that place is a joke.
All right, well, let's say
Anyway,
5 towns.
so-
Let's say 5 towns
so
because the process is the same. It doesn't matter why you went there. It doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is tell people that the process is the same as if you go to plan A. So what you do with plan B is, all right, I have to have a plan B. So you made the choice, the conscious decision to proactively set up classes. You went and you studied some schools. You said, which school do I want? What program do I want? What do I want to learn? You then put the effort into doing it. Then you found out you had to either put money down or get a scholarship or a loan. So then you made the effort. You found excuses to move forward on that. And it's overwhelming. A lot of paperwork. Do I have the money? I got to save the money. If I don't have the money, how do I get the money? I have to prove it. Oh, I got to get you my bank statements. I got to do all this.
You know what's really funny?
What?
The amount of paperwork that I had to do for every college that I've gone to and all that was way more than I've ever had to do for just registering as an S corp. I think it took me 20 minutes, and that was like, okay, done. Okay,
Well, yeah,
tax time. Okay, here you go.
Well, you're paying someone to do that, which is you're supposed to pay people, and
Yeah. But what I'm saying though is that like it was a lot less money to set up an S corp and do the paperwork than it was to like do the college thing.
That's really funny, actually. Yeah, but the point is, you were proactive in making those things happen. Whereas instead of saying, well, how do I figure out what do I got to do to make my business work? What do I need? And the other thing is, you went into school incorrectly because you went into school through debt.
Correct.
Which means you did not have a capital foundation to support you. Jesus, that bug is huge. And
wow. So
So
pretty much we have the kaiju, is that what it is?
Yeah, the kaiju.
The kaiju Godzilla might be popping out of our washing machine at some point.
I mean, Godzilla and King Kong are going to be coming on the HBO Max soon.
Woohoo! And Dune.
So let me finish this. Ultimately, the idea is that even taking on plan B, you didn't approach it like a business. You approached it like it was something you had to do. You had to do it. And the artist brain, I call it the artist brain because it's the I'm going to survive on the idea of getting it done or having this thing or my skill level,
and not actually having a plan to make sure
not having a plan.
Like make it work.
Yesterday we were talking, and I think it's important we bring it up. You were working on your album, and you said, well, why can't I have a marketing plan after? Which I almost threw every rock I could find at you because you've been under my tutelage for too long to even think that. And for you to think that, it means, which is what our episode is about, is ultimately the artist brain sometimes gets into the way of the business brain because the artist brain relies on, I'll get to it, or I don't need it right now, or the most important thing is this product, or whatever the case may be. Well, it will deter you, but at the same time, it'll mess up your plans because the artist brain doesn't care about the business. It cares about this is so awesome because I made it that it'll help me achieve whatever goal it is.
It cares about the art because that's what is quote unquote fun.
That's the fun part. Any one of us who is an artist who obviously loves the art instead of going, I got to get my bank statements together, talk to my accountant, make sure.
Although doing taxes properly is definitely an art form. So cheers to anyone who's an accountant.
A real accountant. I'm an accountant. I do what accountants do. I work where an accountant works. All right, anyway.
Accountant man.
Accountant man.
Does whatever an accountant can.
Boop, 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 boop. But so with that said, I would like to delve into the artist side of your thinking. And I don't want you to answer based on what I have told you after you said it. And I don't want you to base your answers on things that
you want my genuine.
Yeah, like what the hell were you thinking when you were like, I'll just do it after? Now, what is the mindset? Why would you just do it after? So how did you come up with that reality of an answer when I said what I said?
My train of thought. Well,
oh wait. I knew he didn't have a marketing plan before I said anything. Go ahead.
My train of thought was I had focused on the music because I wanted to make music. I hadn't done it in a while, and as I've mentioned many a time before, playing music just kind of like centers me.
Mm-hmm.
It's since we've basically been quarantined for almost a year at this point. And I was like, let me just do the music.
Yeah.
So my train of thought was, I'm going to do the music, center myself, do this for me, and then document stuff, and then move forward with a marketing plan to, do stuff.
Can you hit the
wait.
please? Now you said you were doing it because it was also for BBR, but what you just said had nothing to do with BBR.
Well, the marketing and the part would be part of the BBR thing, but me creating music is always first and foremost for me, because that's what brings me happiness and keeps me sane.
All right, this brings me back to the artist brain and how retarded they are, or stupid they are, dumb they are. All right,
not smartly.
First of all, I can't start marketing until the album's done.
I
no, that's what an artist thinks.
Oh yes,
but that's what you were doing. Even though you're like, well, I'm recording things, I'm keeping note of stuff, I'm building up a repertoire of stuff I could utilize for marketing. But artists don't think before the thing even comes to fruition, I need to be exploring that adventure. And if you're taking note of the adventure and documenting the adventure, and you're like, we'll start pushing that after the product is done, now all you're doing is making more work for yourself. And you're lying to your audience. Can you show the past? Yes. It's called after, right? So it's before, during, and after marketing. You can show the after of something that you had done before. But if you show that after, you cannot honestly post saying, oh, I'm in the studio right now working on the album.
That would make me a liar.
You can't say, I'm about to get in the studio to work on something. You can't do that, because that messes the integrity of your brand's value. Because now you're a liar. Because if someone realizes that, you were just misleading them. And how do we follow empathetically to something that's not true? It's an attack on our connection with you, right?
I would make a Trump joke, but
that bug is definitely going to eat us.
And it keeps moving. I feel like it's getting closer to me. So
it's a beetle. Don't worry. It's not going to hurt us. Oh, Jesus. It's melting the light with its saliva. Okay.
Oh, God, it's got a knife. Wait, is that the noise that beetles make?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, the hissing beetles. Yeah, the hissing beetles. What's the noise your girls make when you take your clothes off?
Most of them just scuttle away.
Do you see them praying? Please be 76%. I want to be over.
They pray, and then right afterwards they try to gnaw my head off.
The mighty praying mantis.
And sometimes they're green, which is really weird.
They're
so
all
either
green.
they're actual bugs, or I'm in some sort of Star Trek world and they're Orion slave girls.
Anyway, back to your so you were doing the music for you, which, by the way, is the only reason you need to do music. However, for you
any art.
I mean, killing people is an art, but you shouldn't be doing that for yourself.
Check, please.
But you did lead yourself to, I'm keeping track of stuff. And then like when I'm done with the music and I'm centered, then I'll have it to market and I'll create a marketing plan. And that's the damage an artist brain does. If you're doing the music for you, then it doesn't matter about the marketing. You're not trying to make money with it. You're not trying to build a relationship. However, the ego aspect of an artist is going to be like, I hope people watch this and like it, right? So you post it for people. Like when I post stuff, how often do you see me really push it?
The only time I've ever seen you push anything, quote unquote, was with the book, but that was like barely pushing.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. And then you did a little bit when we did the charity event, but like even then, it was just like,
yeah. I quote unquote pushed to people that knew me.
You're like, hey, I'm doing a charity event to raise money for cancer,
and everyone was like, all right, let's do it.
They also just wanted to see you in the jacket.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh my god, it still fits." And I was like, "No." I had to put it on like this and go like that.
I mean, you're moving around pretty well.
Well, yeah, because I was like,
Have you ever had a moment on stage where
this is too personal? You know, I'm gonna have to make a joke.
I'm gonna ask anyway. Since you used to like play guitar and sing, I imagine you did like
we've been talking about this
the
too
metal
long.
stance.
Now what?
Like the metal stance, where like you have like the one leg out and like one.
It was the wood stance, but go ahead.
Yeah. Have you ever accidentally like tripped on your hair because it's so long, or you had something where your hair got caught in something? You're like, oh god.
I feel like I'm talking to someone that's A, never had long hair, and B, has never held a guitar.
To be fair, your hair is like 14 times longer than most people I've ever met. I've only met 2 people in my life.
Yeah.
Who I think
Ever.
ever. There's only 2 people who have hair comparable to yours.
Yeah. Oh, they're not as cool as me though.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, yeah. But to answer your question,
One does feed me.
no, because I have adult brain.
I don't believe you.
I'm able to assess the situation. Be like, let me not let my feet touch my hair. It's not like this is the first time I ever wore hair. I was like, it's instantly long. You develop a cognizance of reality to your hair. It's like, do I have a trip on my arm?
Funny story.
But, I've tripped on my feet, but that was because the
like right
ground I was walking on was unfamiliar to me, and I was misstepped.
Your left foot's getting in front of the right foot, going, no.
Trip on your hair. What a question.
Listen, these are the things we need to know in life.
Anyway, have you ever tripped on your penis?
One time by laying down.
Oh yeah, it's because it got cut off.
It did, and then I had to be reattached. But luckily, I had like these little gnomes that had like band-aids.
What would you do if you were like the Lorena Bobbitt thing happened to you?
God, I would.
Would you go into porn like he did?
I mean, I would have to. With a story like that, it's like, well, here we go.
Did you hear the story about a girl who cut a guy's penis off and then they got it reattached and she snuck into the hospital and cut it off again?
What?
How bad did you have to be at the being in a relationship?
Dude, like that's just like what?
I don't understand what it would take for someone to cut a penis off, especially
twice.
Well, yeah, the Lorena Bobbitt. It was just he was cheating on her, and all that. The equal reality to that is break up with him.
Yeah.
He is breaking your boundaries. He's not respecting you as a human being,
and he's lying.
Based on what you have agreed to, and he's lying. Just leave. But the moment you cut his penis, now you
are the bad guy.
Are wrong. It's like marketing a thing. No, all right. So, but the way you were explaining is that it was for you, and you were just kind of centering yourself. So there was really no need. But yet you still were recording what you were doing, like recording the act of and keeping notes, and something you were going to do later. So what was the mentality with that? Why were you? If it was for you and for centering yourself, why keep note of it and privately keep note of it for a later date?
Well, I guess it's comes down to I have it instilled into me to document stuff, especially since knowing you, where it's like, oh, document all this, and I figured it. One, it was kind of just a reflex. Two, it'd be better to have and not need than need and not have.
But it had no plan, and that's the same thing with anything we do. If we choose to do an album, a movie, a book, if we choose to open up a business, if we choose to go on a vacation or a trip,
business,
yeah, you still need a direction, and the direction helps you accomplish the end goal. What I'm saying is you started recording this album with no end goal. The moment you decided to record things, like take note of stuff and keep track of it, and then your brain says, well, I'll do a marketing plan later, that means you have no direction. So now you're just artistly going around going, well, the music will probably speak for itself as soon as I start posting a song. And the truth is, no matter what song you post, no one's going to like it if they don't like you, right?
Correct,
and no one's going to like it if they don't know you're doing it.
Correct, because it's like making something and just leaving it in your closet. No one's going to know that it exists.
Yeah, but even if you start, like, let's say I made,
except for my closet, because apparently you have a million cameras in my closet.
Yeah, I do. if I made a cup, if I made a cup and I started marketing the cup, it doesn't mean the cup's going to sell. But maybe if I marketed the adventure of me thinking of the cup, designing the cup, coming up with a new idea for the cup, and then creating the cup, showing me build the cup, showing me opening up my my office or whatever the case may be, or me selling it to the first person. Now everyone's they're learning. They want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of that kind of adventure, and that's the thing they're missing out with right now. But it's not saying you're doing it wrong. It's just I'm trying to understand the artist's brain your artist brain designed that mentality. Your business brain had nothing to do with it, but you keep contradicting the outcome by saying, I did it for myself because I wanted to center myself, but yet you were doing little things, which is the if something comes out of it mentality, and you're not necessarily choosing to have that mentality, but your habits are making those mentalities reality. So by you kind of doing things and have it, better to have it than not have it, that's still the same artist mentality of, well, if something happens, it happens. And see how bad those habits still live with you, even though you're being educated logically on how a business runs. You're still making excuses. And I know you say I've used the word incorrectly, or you're not making excuses, but you're making excuses not to have the business plan. You're making excuses to say that it has to do with BBR. It's the real reason you're doing it is because you enjoy making music. It's for you. But with that said, the contradictions are that bad habit that if something comes out of it, great. If people like it, that's wonderful. But yet you're like, well, can I do a business plan afterwards? Which means if somebody likes it, great. If something happens, great, is now another contradiction. And that's what the artist brain does. It contradicts the business aspect. So you keep making excuses as an artist, going, it's just for me. And then it's like, well, you know what? I better have this stuff just in case, which is like the business brain trying to leak in, but it's too late. It's already too late. Right. And then you're like, but I won't post those things until the songs are done, which is what now? Artist brain hitting in. So the business brain says, let me keep focus of what I'm doing and take note of it. And then the artist brain is like, yeah, but I don't have anything to really talk about yet, so I won't post that. I'll wait until I release that song, or 2 weeks before I release the song, I'll start posting a thing of me recording the song. And that's artist brain, right? But then you're saying, if something happens, it happens. At least I have it if I want to market it. And then it's, well, no. I know I don't have a business plan or a marketing plan, but can I have that after I'm done? Do you see all the contradictions? These are patterns that I see in everybody, because better than anyone. When someone walks down and sits at my table and I start having a conversation,
I already now, because we're quarantine.
Yeah, we're quarantined, but I know what they're going to say, and I usually tell you what they're going to say
before we even have the meeting.
Because you're no different than anyone else. I'm no different.
From now on. Can we have like a little bingo sheet that we make? They're gonna say this, and this, and if I get like bingo, like we can both do it, and then we can pick our things, and whoever like has bingo.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be so funny.
I think that'd be a fun game.
Imagine out of nowhere, you're just like bingo, and they're like, what?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. So anyway, your career, you're interested in being.
Also,
you want to be an actor?
I have to make dinner tonight.
Yeah, that's funny. But do you understand? Like, that's why I was laughing yesterday. I wasn't laughing at your choices, or because in my head,
because I did the same thing that everyone else does.
Yeah, and again, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you just want to write music, just write the music. But when you say things that are contradictive, you are indeed making excuses. You're trying to give value to the real choice, which is you just want to make music. However, how can you introduce a business concept if the artist brain doesn't care? And how does it not care? Because before you even started doing this, you had no interest in a marketing plan, unless you had started writing one, which you didn't, right?
Correct.
So that means you had no interest in the business aspect of it, because anything you choose to do should have a plan. Even
everything
if the plan
I do must affect everything that I do.
Well, yeah, yes, accurate. However, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to write out a marketing plan. It just, you need to understand. Like, for me,
I need to understand why I'm doing things. This way I have a course of action, not just floundering around in the lazy river.
Exactly. You don't want to just look at me. You want to, like, when you see me do something randomly, I've already had ideas. Like, my brain is filled with years and years of to do, and like how to do it and why to do it. And
so it's not that you're just doing stuff. It's like, you understand the process that you have. You understand your list of what you need to do, and you're just going off of memory, and you're just doing stuff that you've planned, 500 years ago.
Exactly. And also, I know that anything I make has no value. It'll never have value, even when I'm extremely famous.
Except to you, because that's what you're doing.
No, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for my brand. I'm doing it to expand the brand's visibility and credibility. However, I know that it has no value because the things don't make money. Nothing in this world makes money. And if you can grasp that concept as a business, then you know how to make money. You know how to get involved in things. You know how to piggyback. You know how to.
So then, may I go back to
No.
one of the first things that you asked me at the
Yeah,
beginning of this episode? And
sure.
you asked
What did I ask?
how exactly would oh my god. I feel like there's gonna be one day where I actually just jump across the table and strangle you.
And I'll be like, ding, 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 ding.
The dog comes and goes, hey, what, Dad?
What's going on?
Is
Where's
it time
my
for dinner?
father? Where's my father? I got a treat. Oh, okay. Forget that, motherfucker.
We playing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do I
I got,
do I
go ahead.
attack?
What's
Do I
your question?
protect? What do I do?
What do I do? What do I do?
So you're saying you asked me like how a brand would make money.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, that was a misleading question. I believe that you were asking me. So can you go into some depth?
I asked you how a brand makes money because I said, how do you make money? And you said a brand. So I said, okay, well, how does a brand make money?
All right. Well,
It wasn't a misleading question. You brought up the element. So then I that's how a debate works.
Oh, well then could you clarify?
You cannot make money with a brand. There, clarified.
Oh, thank you.
I don't understand the question. I asked you how you make money with a brand because you said you make money with a brand.
So then what is the correct answer? Taking my
Do you remember what the original question was? It had to do with making an album. Metallica made an album.
I think you asked me how Metallica made money. Is that the
That's right. How did Metallica make money?
Can we
I did explain it in the show, actually. But you weren't listening.
Apparently, I wasn't listening.
Were you not listening? How do you think they made money?
Through relationships.
Relationship. What else? They built an emotional connection with their audience based on individuality, which eventually turned into third-party introduction. You got to check out this band. You got to check out this band. Listen to this band. Listen to this band. Third-party introduction is the strongest way to do marketing, right? And this is before the internet. So ultimately, they were creating a Facebook before a Facebook existed, because if you liked them as people and you enjoyed the show as well, you're going to tell me, you got to come to the show.
I would totally log on to Metallica book.
You got to be drunk to understand anything.
I don't care.
Now, there's a couple other things involved in it, but you know better than anybody because you researched it. They only made $60,000 on their first release of Kill 'Em All. Remember?
No, they sold 60,000.
They sold 60,000 copies, and that doesn't mean they made all the money from those 60,000 because Megaforce Records had to make money. And also they had to be reimbursed whatever they spent. A, on the tour, because I'm sure Megaforce was affording the tour.
Yeah,
B, the rehearsal time. C, the recording. D, the duplication. C,
Yeah, so they had to make back all the money that they'd spent in before they even did anything. So they probably made like what, $10 each.
Well, how much is an album back then? Like what is it? $10, $5? What is it?
I don't know actually.
Well, look it up. Look, how much were records?
In 1984.
Yeah, let's just assume they're all records and not necessarily tapes. Let's just make it easy for us.
Like an LP.
Yeah, a record.
But nowadays, a record is just referred to the.
Just find the record. Full length record. Come on. How much was Kill 'Em All?
Average cost.
Oh, go ahead.
For a new record was $7 to $12. Used records are normally $4 to $5.
All right, let's say $10.
Right, say $10.
So what's 10 times 60,000? You add a zero, $600,000. That's how much they made. Now to put that into perspective, okay, Metallica each made $2 million touring for 4 years on the Black album. All right, and that's after expenses.
They each made $2 million.
They each made $2 million.
So that's $500,000 in a year.
That's five. Yeah, that's 500,000. Look at you. I like how you're like, wait, if you carry the 7, only 75% of the women. Wait, no, Metallica albums. Anyway, now shrink that down to they really didn't have the same draw they do with the Black album. So they even after all the expenses and paying everything, the taxes, they made.
I just touring with a smaller mid-level size band. I can only imagine what Metallica was doing when they first started out, because there is so many times, especially
they lived in poverty. They lived on the floor. They all had beds with the way I like my bed, where I just like the box spring and the mattress on the floor.
So what you're saying is you would live in Japan because all the stuff is on the floor.
Oh yeah, I love it. Well, also
actually no, you wouldn't, because you don't really like seafood all that much.
Japan has they have some of the best beef.
They do.
They got some good beef. They have beef with us. They have beef with. They got beef with other people. Anyway,
what's going on?
what was I saying? Oh, Metallica.
Metallica.
They lived on the
Poppin'.
floor. I mean, they would still party with girls and get drunk and spend their money basically on the necessities to survive. But for them, it was also alcohol. And they would party all the time. And
Drugs.
then what would happen is, cockroaches be walking across them while they were sleeping. And they'd
Yeah.
wake up and be like, they didn't even have proper blankets. You can just look this up on Behind the Music. You can read it in biographies.
Well, they've also talked about it plenty of times.
They've also talked about it. So even when they were making money, even touring with the Master of Puppets album, they weren't making money. They were just kind of.
They're breaking even and just barely affording their life.
That's right, and they didn't even own their music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, was it 2008? Is when they got
something like that. Yeah,
it was like within the last 10 years.
And I think they remastered it.
Yeah, and they re-released it through their thing,
their record label, so they can make the money. But that's the point, though. It's like even a band like that, where you would think is top notch, they weren't making that much money because they had an album. Or the Black Tour, comparatively, they did not make a lot of money. Like if you think about it, 4 years touring, just touring. All they did was play shows. They didn't even take a break. 2 of them they got married, and 2 of them, the same 2, ended up divorced. Like that's insane. Right? They gave up their lives just to tour for 4 straight years, and they made $2 million each. That's pretty good for playing music, but think about it for a second. The percentage of what they actually brought in versus what they made, that's what you look at as a business.
That's also a lot of people who aren't familiar with touring. It's a very grueling lifestyle.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It can be fun if you want to do that, but just touring for a month is strenuous. It's tiring. You don't know where, especially if you're in the United States, you're going through time zones. You're not really getting a good night's sleep necessarily because you're on a moving vehicle or you're in a hotel room or you're taking a nap at a venue. You're not really getting a lot of rest. And if you're a smaller band, like when Metallica first started out, you don't necessarily have the money to hire a crew. So you're also part of the crew. You're doing all this heavy lifting for hours on end.
It's not fun. If I could tour again, if I could really tour, I would tour 2 months out of the year in America, and then I would tour 2 months out of the year in Europe, and then that's it. And those tours I would do half weeks. I wouldn't even. Aerosmith does something like that. They tour when they do a tour. They do 3 shows, and then they and then they do 3 shows, and then they take and that's the you need that control. And what does that mean? That means. What that means, that mentality, people, you wish you could have that kind of, you don't get to choose it, but you do.
Yeah.
If you run your business correctly and organize your money and have a foundation and you know how money works, and bands do it all the time. They just take money and then they hand it to each other in the band and they go, well, we have a 5th position for the band. We take, so out of $100, the band also gets 20. And it's like, no, give the band the $100. And then when it reaches a certain amount of money, you can start paying the members as per a company paycheck, or in this case ownership, a dividend, right? But they don't think like that. And when you have to grind to make money, you're not doing what you love. You're doing what you have to do because you know what your skill set is, and you're like, I want to make money doing this, so I'm just going to grind at it. And now you're not in control of your passion. Your passion is controlling you, and now it turns into a job. You get exhausted, jaded. Sometimes, like you said, you don't get real sleep, right? So how can you enjoy it? If I was working a job I didn't enjoy, I would never do it. And I know that I wouldn't enjoy touring if I was touring to make money. If I was touring and we made money,
you'd be like, that's wonderful.
That's fine, but I would have to tour on my responsibility, like how I want to tour. That doesn't mean that I have an ego or that I deserve it. It just means that I know how a business runs. If you opened up a donut shop and you lost your marriage and you were broke all the time and you were just hoping that by the end of the month you could afford all your bills, you don't know how to run a business.
I'm just curious as to how you're going on tour with the donut shop, and can I be part of it?
Yeah. What are you talking about? You always have a donut shop when you're on tour. But the artist,
if you're in Portland, Voodoo Donuts.
There's several Portlands, and we're not going to any of them.
What? But there's Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon. Have you had Voodoo Donuts?
You don't even eat junk food.
Exactly. So for me to rave about Voodoo Donuts, and it was a blue.
He's talking about doing donuts in the parking lot, not donuts.
I mean, that would be so much fun. But they have the Captain Crunch donut.
Oh, tell me about this.
I am. It's amazing.
That story was so good. Why don't you just tell it again? Go ahead.
So they have this Captain Crunch donut.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's amazing.
Jesus, we didn't even need that on the show. All right, so I got to tell you, I really like hot chocolate. See, story over.
That was a great. You know what?
You know, that's why I'm going to go to Portland. they sell hot chocolate there, and it was amazing.
All right, so we're gonna go to Voodoo Donut when we are on tour.
The idea that any
Altanyan.
business, what
When we're going on tour for Altanyan, we hit Portland. We're gonna go to Voodoo Donut.
says you're going to be there?
I'm fine. I won't be there then.
You don't even want to go.
I do.
When?
I love Portland.
See, you don't want to go with Altan. You want to go to Portland. I would be horrible to tour with because I would care too much about the show. I'd be like Prince, $200 fine.
Oh God!
I messed up the note. Yeah, but I had to step. Why did you jump into the audience? Because I wanted them to see me. All right, but now you just killed the show. The person who was supposed to walk behind you didn't know their cue. They didn't see. Yeah,
well, that's dumb.
What's dumb?
Going off script.
Oh, all right. Well, now you know why they get fined.
Yeah.
Because going off note is going off script.
I mean, unless there's like a technical difficulty and pyrotechnics explode and you burst into flame.
Yeah, in Canada, which would be funny. I was standing there and the skin just bubbled up, and I was like, I get the drink now. I hope that Guns N' Roses does right and don't start a riot
again.
No, that was the first time they did it.
Oh God,
that was crazy. They could have won the day, and they were just like, my voice doesn't feel good. I'm out. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, your business brain has to make sense of things, and you have to be in control of your art, or your art.
The art is only allowed to make art. The business brain goes, I got the rest.
Yeah, anyone who starts doing anything creatively and they go, all right, when I'm done with this and I feel good about it, I will create something out of it.
The business brain needs to step in and be like, no. We need to start at the very beginning.
You gotta start at the very beginning.
It's a very good place to start.
One second. We got a comment. Let's check it out.
We got a comment?
Let's
hold on, we have a comment.
It's Nate.
Oh, it's Nate.
It's probably something about like penises or something.
Oh. What is the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
I know. The snowman has balls. Snowballs. Has snowballs.
He has snowballs.
Has snowballs.
Imagine that's why they never really get anywhere in life.
Oh, we look good.
Well, it's mainly you.
No. You look good too.
I mean, I just have the beard.
There you go. There's the difference. I wish Nate would I love that he watches the show.
Hi, Nate.
And I like Nate as a person. I just wish he would contribute some questions to the show that
we're not about snowmen, snow women.
Yeah, because he's a smart guy. I've talked to him on set, and I'm like, this guy's high. He's definitely.
He's got high intelligence.
Yeah, high intelligence with too much
weed.
weed. No, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Excellent handshake
with his feet.
I was like, what are you doing? He goes, listen, this is what we do. This is what the Spanish do. And I go, you're not Spanish.
We.
He speaks Spanish. He speaks several languages, and he did it in one word. He was like, no. And I was like, wow. That's like 3 languages minimum. It's French. That's
¿Qué pasa?
Oh, Jesus. All right. JD's last show.
Everyone. ¿Dónde está mi pantalones? Está no aquí.
No key. You don't have keys to get in? All right.
I mean, I'm already in.
The business brain.
To get out.
All right. Where's the button? Where's the
in the unplug.
JD, you sound great now. The idea that a business brain is not involved with the creation of absolution, the creation of money, or the growth of your idea, is what will destroy an artist. An artist will be, because they're relying on the return of their product, because they have this emotional connection to it. If you made a song and then you posted it and 20 people listened to it, you would feel defeated. However that would come out in your actions is based on your evolution of dealing with the said disappointment. However, if I release a song and 20 people watch it, I have learned over the years that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean the song's good or bad. It just means I didn't do my job to actually care enough to get people to see it. It's the reason that people listen to Metallica. Will listen to a million. What they have like 30. What is it? 66 million. They had some ridiculous amount of streams last year
on Spotify.
Yeah, they made $5 million. Oh, well, minimum.
Let's take a look.
Take a look. You know, and the thing is, the only reason they're getting that is because of the establishment of their brand and how they did their job. They ran their business. They continue to run their business to this day.
Metallica on Spotify has 15.7 million monthly listeners.
Monthly listeners. What did they have last year, just for the whole year?
I'm on Spotify. So
oh.
But Nothing Else Matters has a total of 563 million listens.
Oh, see, Nothing Else Matters. That's it.
Enter Sandman has 604 million.
Oh, geez, never heard of it.
Master of Puppets 302 million. Unforgiven 246.
Did you see Master of
262 million.
You're 2 million.
That is a lot of millions.
That is a lot of millions. Jesus. Jesus.
We've also established that when I'm recording stuff and playing guitar, I also.
Yeah, you do this weird like masturbation sound. Now I know why it's only 75%. 75% do not climax. Did you have an orgasm, babe? I did. You must have. I'm sweating. It's been a strong 3 minutes. I'm going to need some Gatorade. I'll be right back for round 2.
At least a 45-minute break, please.
Call me old-fashioned, but I like to shake when I orgasm. That's
Sorry,
terrible.
That was my post-orgasm twitch.
I can't believe anyone would think that they give a girl an orgasm more than 25% of the time through intercourse, right? Wouldn't they be crazy if they thought that?
Yeah.
Hey, I still believe the women I was with. They all said, yeah, we would finish and be like, orgasm, let's go eat. You don't want to cuddle? Cuddle? I don't know.
We're gonna get crumbs in the bed.
Yeah. Let's just go. Let's just go get food at my place. In fact, I'm gonna go home. I got stuff I gotta work on, like my vibrator.
Bye.
You ever have a girl say, "Hey, we should use toys in the bed"?
Yes.
Yeah. You know why? Stick a guess. When a girl uses a vibrator, do they mostly use it inside, or do they finish with it on the outside?
Mixtures?
So they finish with it on the inside?
Yes.
All the time?
Not all the time.
Mostly on the outside, you think?
I guess from personal experience, I would say it's a good mixture.
It's a good mixture. What do you think was probably the higher ratio, though? Which one do you think they climax more with the toy?
The outside.
All right. So what does that tell you? The magic of statistics.
Statistics.
Hey JD, how many spots are in a girl's hoo-ha?
How many spots are in the hoo-ha?
Yeah, how many erogenous zones are there for a woman?
42.
Now seriously, I don't know. I would like to know.
I don't know either.
But you don't know?
Nope.
See, this is why we're terrible lovers, right?
Terrible.
Are you a terrible lover?
I'm definitely a terrible lover.
Would you like to be a better lover?
I would love to be a better lover.
But you're young yet, right? You're like, what, 33?
Gonna be.
Holy crap, you're gonna be 33 in what, like 4 days?
I don't know. What day is it?
No, you got 5 days. No, 6 days. I don't know. The 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so 6 days.
My birthday is numerical. It's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I actually ordered a book that explains the female anatomy for you.
Is it called 1, 2, 3?
No. There's like 7 zones down there.
That's why I'm confused.
Did you know what? Doesn't matter. You don't care. You don't care to make a woman feel good. Only 25% of the time.
Only 25% of the time do I care.
That sounds like I'm doing good with marketing. If I'm 20, you only need 1% of the audience. If I have 25%, I'm winning.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm dominating. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. When creating with the artist brain, when creating with the artist brain is misled by the business brain, and ultimately, what I'm saying there, Jitty, is that yesterday when we had our conversation, you were misleading the business brain and the artist brain. They were conflicting with each other, right? So anything you want to do artistically, the moment you just acknowledge that it's for you and nobody else, that's a real power, but the moment you have to post it, now why are you posting it? And then if it's the mentality, well, I don't care, then why did you record yourself?
Well, I have the post. Why talk about it?
Why talk about it? That's right. There you go.
Piece of
Ooh.
candy.
Piece of candy. Piece of candy. And that's the thing, though. Like, artist brain, they don't understand. They have a hard time acknowledging that it takes work to get a return. And when they don't put that work in way before they even start, and then they don't get that return, they go like, what the hell? Why am I not getting the return? Like,
what the crapsies?
What the crapsies? What the crapsies? Yeah, let's see. What do we got here? We got some. Wait, Nate just wrote something else.
Oh man, what did Nate say?
Let's see. Let's see what Nate wrote. Popped up over there.
We are monsters.
Who?
We are. He says that us guys are monsters. So
you got our monsters.
Toxic masculine assholes.
Is that what he wrote?
You're worse than Hitler.
That's true. That is true. I am a terrible artist.
I mean, I'm also terrible at Hitler, mainly because I was
I thought you were a painter. I thought you were a painter.
I mean,
have you ever painted?
I have as a child. Actually, I in elementary school. One of the projects we had to do was portraits. Yeah. So I have a very terrible portrait of myself, all dressed up as an FBI agent with a little alien next to me. Because at the time I was heavily into the X-Files and I wanted to be an FBI agent.
All right, so it's. I'm glad we told that story. So it says here, Nate. You guys are monsters, toxic masculinity a-holes. You're worse than Hitler. Now, just a little backstory on who Nate is. Nate is my friend.
He is a clone of Hitler himself,
and he likes to say things to be controversial. He has one of the funniest things he ever said to me, other than he was smart. Was he goes, no, I'm just playing. I'm just being honest. No, he said he goes. What I like to do with people is whenever they're talking negatively about Trump, I like to walk in there and be like, yeah, say what you will about Trump, but he's done more for the Hispanic community than anyone else.
And then he would just walk away.
But right? He's Hispanic, which is funny. He's a funny kid. Anyway. So yeah, that's really what do you have to say about that, JD? What do you have to say about my theory that is indeed been proven? What do you have to say about it?
I mean, your theory is always correct. It's we have yet to find a situation where your theory has not proven accurate.
Now, how come sometimes you find yourself pushing back on the theory, though, and you basically make what I call excuses to defend your choices when you don't have to defend your choices by pointing out potential other things when they're not actually the motivation or the drive for what you choose to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you.
What do you mean? Don't you exist in your brain?
Yes. That's why I don't have an answer for you.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah. No. Definitely one of my weak points is I'm not able to put complete feelings and thoughts into clear cognitive sentences.
How's that work out with your relationships?
I definitely ended up in some crazy situations in my life because of it.
Hey, how come you have those scars on your chest? A girl was stabbing me. Didn't you tell her to stop? I didn't know how to really articulate that it hurt or that I didn't like it.
Other than going, ow, that hurts.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to watch TV. I'm writing music right now. Please go away. That's funny. I didn't know how to explain that I didn't enjoy her punching me in the balls every morning. I just was like, well, as long as she's happy.
Funny story.
Do you when you realize your artist brain has destroyed the business potential of an idea, how does that make you feel?
Not good.
Thanks for that elaborate answer.
You're welcome.
So what is it about space that you really like? Stars. But what about the stars? You could see them. All right, but we're on Star Talk. Do you think maybe you could go into it? What are stars? Bright. Yeah, but what makes them? Oh,
gas.
How many are there? Oh, lots.
Billions.
You said you were a star expert. Yeah, I am. Well, tell us something interesting about stars.
They're different colors.
Most of them are dead, but we're seeing a dying star glow out. Really? Yeah. How do you know that? Telescopes. Science. Imagine going to a consultant and be like, well, how do I become successful? What do I got to do?
You gotta do this.
You got to just do stuff. Like what?
Things.
Things. You got to just, network market practice. What is that?
Networking.
You network. Well, what's marketing? It's marketing. You just market. Just tell people things. You gotta have a really strong brand. How do you get a strong brand? You make it strong.
You gotta work out every day.
Yeah, you gotta put it in the gym. Put it in the gym. This is terrible advice.
God, I just have the word brand, exercising, lifting weights, in the gym.
Dude. I'm still confused that you said that in the beginning of the show. You need a brand. You need a brand. You need a brand. Is it what is it that you do need to make money?
Chutzpah, as my grandma would say.
That's it. So if you have chutzpah, you're gonna make money.
It definitely comes in handy.
That's like saying you need to be dedicated, persevere. You have to have perseverance, and you got to be willing to do. That's not gonna make you money though.
Yeah.
What makes you money?
Networking, marketing, and practice.
What else?
Building and cultivating relationships.
That's networking.
But I wanted to say it 'cause that's cool.
But now you're gonna say running your business, running your life like a business. That has nothing to do with any of the three things you said.
But what were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What do you do when you make money?
You gotta break it up into
What do you do?
the 60-40 split.
What? Oh my God. This guy. This guy. Do you listen when I talk to people?
I mean, I drift in and out.
I drift in and out when I'm writing music, but I feel myself writing the music. You do? No, I don't have an extra hand. So what do you do? In my head, I record it and I remember I do it. And then like 10 years from now,
I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm going to be like, hey, how are you going to release your music? You're just going to release it all in one shot?
No.
Why not?
Why?
Oh, well, why? Well, why do? What are you going to do?
I'm
going to do one song at a time. No, what are you going to do? I'm serious.
No idea.
But so are you going to release them at all?
Probably.
Okay. On why?
Why? Why not?
So on Spotify, you're going to release one song at a time.
Sure.
Okay. Why?
Why not?
Well, I'm just asking. Are you just so your plan isn't to really do anything with this album? It's just it's like a goal. Like I just want to record it and release it.
Pretty much.
All right. So there's no plan.
No, there is no plan.
All right. So you're not going to even tell people really about it on Spotify on social media.
Well, probably not a lot.
So you're just going to be like, oh, hey, I released it on Spotify. It was something that I really wanted to do. I'm proud that I got it up there.
Woohoo.
If you want to listen.
Sure.
You're not going to randomly post a video, say on Instagram with a swipe up to watch this video.
I probably will.
Now, do you know how to actually build traffic to that video instead of doing what you did?
SEO. I have no idea.
Do you work at a marketing company?
I mean, sometimes.
All right. Now, when you're doing what you're doing, this is where I say you're not being the artist. You're saying, I don't know. I have no idea. But you do have an idea what you would do. And I want to hear what you would do. Saying I don't have no idea, or hey, Tom, tell me, or I don't know, or I have no plan. Then remember I talked about this? I was like, this when you start doing that, I know you've already checked out and you're not interested. But the way I can teach the best is by hearing what you would do and then correcting it with the business brain. Because you already know what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to do.
All right, what am I going to do?
No, you got to tell us. I've already said things you're going to do, and I laughed at it. And then
so let's go back. Let's say that I'm going to release one song.
I don't want to say. I want to know what you're going to do.
I'm telling you, I'll release one song at a time. Let's say we'll do one song a month, and we'll make
a song a month. What do you?
I know. What am I going crazy here? Going to heck with myself. And then we could do videos for each of them.
Yeah.
And we can release those songs.
You're going to do a video for each song?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, all right.
We'll do that.
Okay.
There you go. That's the plan.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all, and that's how you build views on your video.
Oh yeah, we have to push them on social media, specifically push and say, hey, check this out.
So you now I know you're just messing with me. I know you're just saying things.
Well, I'm doing the artist thing.
No. You're not telling me what you would do. You're telling me what you think I want to hear now, which is also a way to mess up the whole dynamic of it, right? But so your real answer is I don't know what I'm going to do. Or do you have an idea of what you're going to do? But my real question was, how do you get views to your? Because I was saying that there's a better way than just going, hey, swipe up on this video, because you want people to watch that video.
Well, you would share the behind the scenes stuff. That I would share what I'm doing and how I'm feeling in the moment of creating this thing.
So just that thing.
That's one thing. But you would talk about what I'm going through in my life, in general.
So
creating an interest for people to want to dive deeper into what it is that I'm doing.
So then you get to that point, and then you just share the video.
No.
Well, you shared the video, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, I shared a video.
You shared the video that you wanted people to watch, because you did it a couple of ways.
That thing.
Yeah. What do you think I'm making this up?
No.
All right. So you did all that marketing for that video.
That is an old video that there was marketing for.
Yeah, but you're saying everything you're doing was to get that video noticed, or you just posted that video.
No, that was an old video.
Yeah, I know it's an old video.
It was already marketed when I first did it like 2 years ago.
It's not already marketed. The video is not marketed. The video is advertisement. The moment you make a video, it's advertisement. The moment you push it, it's advertisement. What's marketing? Define marketing.
Designing a brand to build awareness to interest in sales.
Marketing is designing a brand to build awareness, which creates interest that ultimately generates sales, so people buy into your brand's message emotionally. All right. So with that definition, is placing the video on social media marketing?
No, it's advertisement.
It's advertisement, because what is advertisement?
Is pushing and telling people.
Yeah, and more importantly, advertisement is about the numbers game. Is you're trying to implement or imprint an interest in something by oversaturating the market. However, if you post the video once, is that oversaturation?
It is not.
Are you getting it in front of millions upon millions of people?
It is not.
It's not. So what happens when you do that? It's the same thing when we post a video for our shows, or we post audio for our links. It does zero. The only people that ever click on it are either people that are interested in it because they know us, which is a very small group of people, or somebody that's looking for specific SEO, like certain keyword types. So for example, if somebody's looking for how to better market or maybe better finance themselves, they might be just literally searching, how do I organize my money or budget?
And then the video pops up.
And they'll watch it. And if they watch the whole thing, that means we intrigued them. We had the right kind of motivation within that product, because that's what a video is. And then ultimately,
they fantasized about touching your beard.
They fantasized about touching the beard, right? So when you post a video like that with the, hey, swipe up or whatever like that, and you're just basing, you're disconnecting the audience from the true message, which is your focus should be on brand building on social media. Now, do we post stuff? Yeah, we post stuff all the time, right? But the real secret to that is not the posting. The posting is known as boosting. Whenever you place a link for something, it's a boost. And the boost only affects the organic growth.
What is the difference between a push and a boost?
They're both the same thing. A push is identified as watch this, see me, touch me. It's basically a call to action or a boast, like an arrogant, I recorded an album. That would be a push.
So what is a boost?
A boost would be the same thing ultimately, if it's attached to a direct responding call to action.
Gotcha. So
if I post buy my book, like if I literally write buy my book.
So a push and a boost are interchangeable.
It's not that they're interchangeable. It's like one has a different method to it. A boost is like if we posted a link for this show tomorrow, it's being boosted because it's going to be pushed through our organic growth. Gotcha. Whatever our audience is, let's say 100 people see it. Because we posted it, we're boosting the awareness of that link, but not the awareness of our brand.
I see.
And now, by definition, that becomes a push. Now, if we talk about our brands, if our brand's message is attached to the link first, now it's an adventure post
That happens to have a
with
link.
a boost, but it's not really a push unless we say,
Click
the adventure, check out this video, right? Now it's a push boost with adventure. The best way to do it is to focus on the adventure. And then, obviously it's 4-to-1. So every 4 adventures, you could do one push or one boost. But that's not what gets you to views. No one's watching. Like this guy who does comedy, he just emailed me his interview with some guy. I'm not going to watch it. I like him. I think he's a nice guy. He's funny, whatever. But I'm not going to watch. Why am I going to watch it? It's an hour and a half, and nothing in that video looks like I want to read it. Why? Because I didn't buy into it. It's all about 2 comedians talking about the comedy industry. I don't care. Nothing they say is going to be interesting to me in that video. Mostly because I know who one of them is. And a majority of the questions are going to be about either his involvement with that comedian or him bragging about his growth in the comedy scene, because that's what his material is like.
It sounds like you already have an understanding and an expectation of what his brand is. So it sounds like you would not be interested in that.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Like when I watch like a Joe Rogan, I watch Joe Rogan because I think he has an intriguing way of giving interviews. But if I'm listening to the interview 5-10 minutes in and I'm not interested in the answers, because I don't care if it's an unknown person, I just care what is the conversation about. And I'm willing to, because it's Joe Rogan and his style of interviewing, I'm willing to explore what a new unknown guest has to say.
Because he has a thing where it's like he asks people to be on the show that he finds are interesting, and you can't get on unless he's like he looks for you.
That you have to be his friend. Like he has to like you. And once he likes you, you're on, and then you get to do whatever you want to do. And sometimes the conversations are really casual. Sometimes, and there's no direction, as far as like the start. It's not like we have a subject and we're going to talk about that subject or loosely talk about that subject. Whereas him,
he just has like let's talk about it. But I feel like there have been some interviews where like he has someone on specifically because he's like, I want to talk about this because this is why I'm intrigued.
Well, like he might have Neil deGrasse Tyson on to talk about cosmetic, the cosmos or something like that. But he doesn't come in with questions. Like he's like, all right, so on the Cosmos show, you were talking about blah. He just kind of like
lets the conversation go.
He likes his area of expertise, so he wants to have Neil deGrasse Tyson on to see where the conversation goes. He had Bernie Sanders on. He wanted Bernie Sanders on so he could give voice to the other side, and he wanted to hear his points. And he even was like interested in voting for Bernie Sanders afterwards because he was like, no, it was a really good conversation. He answered some intriguing things, but he also didn't have direct. It's not like he has a paper in front of him. And,
he just has a conversation.
Yeah, and he's really good at that.
I really like Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Everyone thinks he's a Republican, but he's not. Or that he's far right, and he just wants to be alive. Like he is a money guy, but it's not like he does care about people. Is it raining?
I think that's the dog.
The dog.
He's above us.
Anyway, so back to anytime, even when I do, like if I post a link to Gozer or something, it's
Gozer.
It's frivolous. It has no value. And the reason is because I don't have 10,000 people interested in what I'm doing. So the moment you have 10,000 plus people,
then you have the right
because they want to see it. So it's funny, like
they want to buy your breathwater.
Yeah, actually, if you noticed, I've been getting more interaction to me.
Not posting because people are like, why aren't you posting? Because people want to see what's going on, and that's they message me going, hey,
well,
is Thomas alive?
Well, they message me too, but like
I'm just saying there's so much that people are like messaging me going, hey, is he alive?
Yeah, is he alive? Is he alive? And if we use our social media wisely, the whole point is not telling people who we are, but showing them what we do. Like, what is our adventure? What is our experience in this life? What is the experience of what we're doing, our field of interest, right? But the moment you keep posting those things, you're misdirecting your audience, right? So you ever hear, like, you have like 5 brands you're working with, right? So like when you work with Voodoo Kung Fu, and you post that, it's confusing to the brand message. When you post Altanian, BBR, Angels on the Battlefield, JD McGibney, check out this video, dude. It's confusing. Why?
Because it's multiple voices.
It's not multiple voices. You're using the same voice to push a different brand, right? Because it's your voice on that brand when you share it, right? You go, look at this thing, right? But like if Angels on the Battlefield says, check out this video, that's its own voice. But when you share it, now it's your voice with its voice, but you're sharing a whole bunch of things that you're attached to. And what you're attached to is not your brand. The things you do have nothing to do with who you are.
What I do is not my job.
That's right. What you do is not your job. It'll never be your job. That's just the truth, you know? And that's the thing. People, artists, they get confused. They think,
Artistes.
they go, oh, I can't post anything until I'm doing something. And if I'm doing something, then I can post it. And it's like, no, you should be posting. You should always be posting what's going on in your adventure, doing what it is you do, but not
Which is
necessarily
living
what
your
it is
life.
you do. It's not living your life. Or, when I see you post links to things, I know the artist brain took over for that moment. I know for a fact you want people to see that thing. There's no other reason. Unless you're like, well, the world is empty. They must know, because like, why do you want people to see your
Why
video?
bother sharing it if
Yeah.
you don't want people to see it?
Yeah.
Why make it if you don't want it to be seen?
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true.
Sorry, why post it on a public forum if you don't want it to be seen?
Yeah. But again, that also isn't necessarily true, because somebody had that conversation with me. They said that if I didn't care if people saw my stuff or not, why do I post it? And I go, I only post it on my social media because it's my social media and it's a part of my voice. But I don't care if people see it. That's why I don't reach out to people to see it. People who go to my page are not through my choice. That's their choice. And if they don't go to my page, it doesn't affect me emotionally. So I can choose to post what I want on my blog or my website or my social media, and that's for me. But the moment you start posting for others, now you're going to lose your brand's voice. You're going to be dictated by your artist brain. You're not going to have any direction, right? Because the moment you're trying to get someone to see a video or a link to an episode of us, it's not necessarily telling anything.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing. And if you don't post it again, what happens? It's confusing, right? So you have to find that fine. If you talk about you working on the show, Angels on the Battlefield, Altanian, Voodoo Kung Fu, a movie, a commercial, that's different than pushing those things, because people are following you working on those things.
So then they can, if they want to,
yeah,
go and follow those things, and they could see it on those specific brands.
The moment, like when you show, not you in general, but artists, when they show, like, you do it, you'll show, like, I don't know, you playing a song or you writing out your music. That's called pushing, right? Because you're ultimately saying, look at me, look what I did. But you're not telling the adventure. Why?
Because I'm not saying how I felt. I'm not portraying how I felt. I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
what I can do.
Yeah, you're like, look, I'm working on music is awesome, right? But that's not adventure.
That's just a statement.
That's just a statement. Oop, we lost something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, your camera died.
Oh, no.
No.
Yep, my phone's dead. DED.
Was it not plugged in?
No, because I can't plug in.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have the apples.
That's all right. Mine's looking good. Look at that.
Oh, look, you're plugged in.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
And it's not an attack on you. I'm just
you're just stating.
I'm educating the reality of it. Is it's something you do often, but it's also what artists do often. They post the thing to give it value because you want people to see it. But if you want,
a great movie, by the way.
Okay. The moment you want people to see it, you're no longer representing your adventure.
Because you're pushing.
If you, like, for this episode, if you post the link on BBR, right? You're posting it because you want people to listen to the episode. So how do you take that out of the equation to represent the adventure? Well, the way you work on adventure post is you think about, how can I present this episode best? I'll post that with it.
As opposed to talking about what happened in the moment.
Or more importantly, what happened with you in the moment.
Like me almost dying from Mothra.
survived an attack from Mothra. We were able to get the episode done. with clean pants, right?
Says you.
But you don't always have to say a joke or anything. I'm just,
Yeah.
but the reality is, but you also have to make it represent what it is they're going to see, but not necessarily tell them what they're going to see, and that's the vague but informativeness. Um, you know, uh, if you notice, a lot of times when I post something, usually it's I'm making a jest about it because that's in my brand, or more importantly, I'm talking about it with no value. Like, it's like, this is, you don't need to watch this video, or you don't need to watch this episode, or you don't need, like,
These are not the dreads you're looking
these
for.
are not the dreads. Because I don't want people to see it unless they want to see it. But what I do want them to see is my truth. I want them to see my message and my brand. My strongest posts are always the ones where I'm reflecting, and I write a reflective post that's based on not only my brand, but like the self growth of one's accomplishments, or that we're not defined by other people's perspective of us. We're defined by our truth of our actions and who we want to be. Those posts blow up, and the reason is because that's the truest form of my brand. That's the truest form of my venture, and the reason they connect so much and people have empathy
is because you're sharing exactly what you are going through, or if it's reflective, something you're sharing what you did go through, and it's feelings, it's emotions. Sometimes it's even actual events or experiences that people can relate to and empathize with.
And it'll always do better, even though my numbers aren't crazy. And again, the reason my numbers aren't crazy is I'm not doing the SEO, I'm not doing the tagging, I'm not
You're not actively trying to interact with people.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way to interact. I interact with people. There's a small group of people I interact with.
Yeah, but those are people that like you've built like strong relationships,
Yeah.
strong friendships with.
But even
and
now,
sometimes family.
Yeah, I see people now that I really want to interact with, and I just don't have the motivation. Like, I'm pretty much, I'm on a very loose.
You're a social media hermit.
Yeah, like
you come out to the market for supplies and go back.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's this? I want to get
my bananas.
I do want to get back to social media, but I'm just trying to take a social media break. Like, I don't want to feel like I have to do social media, and I started feeling that way, and I was like, I need a break from it, and
well, social media definitely can grate on you emotionally.
Yeah, well,
a lot of people definitely put a lot more weight behind it than necessary, and I'm reading in the book that I'm reading, the one that you had suggested me like forever ago that I'm finally reading, like, it actually brings up the topic of social media and how it basically people put a lot of weight behind it, and the fact that a lot of people just see all the positives that people portray through social media, and they use that as a weight against their own lives, and they're like, oh, well, I don't have a perfect life in this situation.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, these people seem to have perfect lives. What's wrong with me, and stuff like that.
But social media is a lie, though.
It is, because you're only showing people what you want them to see.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why when there's moments of weakness, quote unquote, where vulnerability, I should say vulnerability, like if you talk about depression, or I talk about depression or anxiety, like those moments people are going to connect to with more, because they are like, oh wow, okay, so you're not perfect, you're not doing a lot of great things and being happy. Like, you're having moments of difficulty, you're having decompression.
I think that conversation of just like talking about your one's mental health expands past even just social media, goes into real life too, because not everybody is willing to have those discussions or admit that they have those moments or admit that they have those struggles. Like you said, like those posts, those conversations tend to get the most reaction, the most I guess attention and love, and people connect to it the most. And things that I've been noticing, like from people who do interact to those posts, is they don't see it as a sign of weakness.
Yeah, it's vulnerability. I use
that. Yeah, well, even then, like it doesn't. I don't personally feel vulnerable anymore doing those posts, because I find, for me, originally talking about it, I felt like I was being vulnerable, and it would be seen as a sign of weakness. But I realized that it is something that people deal with on a regular basis, and I think that makes me feel it's not a weakness because it's something that's just normal to have ups and downs, not necessarily to the extent that some people might have it,
Yeah.
but it's normal to have emotions. It's normal to have feelings. It's normal to have
Not if
good
you're a
days and
man. The issue with that, though, is once you start posting and you realize you're getting a good return on it, and then you start posting it because you know people will connect with it, that's when it stops being real and it becomes a push.
I agree, but what I'm saying though,
Or
is
if
like
it's scheduled.
what I'm saying though is
Oh, it's Thursday. I gotta do my depression post. Get the hell out of here. Do you know anyone who doesn't?
no.
Not even off the top of your head. All right, go ahead, 75. All right.
Oh dear God, I gotta go.
Depression post is coming.
Oh, I'm automatically happier.
Oh
now.
my God. No, I can't write one today. It's not Thursday. So, but that is the reality of it. They might be seeing the truth of it, but it becomes a tool. It becomes a tool of recognition. When I was in therapy, I was telling my therapist that sometimes when I was deeply disturbed by my depression, I would write a post because in my mind, I thought I'm going to utilize my state of depression as a way to maybe influence positivity in the world. So I would post about depression, either what I was going through or just depression in general, or poetically something dark, and allow people to see it, and then ultimately say, be influenced by it emotionally. Even like taking it out of my hands and putting it into the universe and saying, hopefully this helps somebody recognize that you're not alone,
Well,
and that would help me. But that wasn't a push like, hey, I'm depressed, look at me, I'm depressed, it's Thursday.
yeah, no, I think
It's
that
therapy.
I think doing that is a benefit for the entire world, for people to feel like they can talk about it, to show that they have these feelings. Because, like you said, it's you making the post was an attempt to kind of let people know that they aren't alone in feeling, if they have those feelings.
Yeah, it was my coping. It's a way I cope. It's a tool to get me through depression. Like when you have anxiety, there's tools you're supposed to utilize to, like some people with anxiety, they live in their head and they ask questions and answer those questions without evidence. But the tool is, I don't know the truth
Until I ask,
but I feel this way. So let me ask Clifford. Like that's an actual tool for anxiety. It's there's a name for the technique, but ultimately, what you're feeling is real, but why you're feeling that way is based on something that you don't have evidence on. Now you got to get clarify. You have to clarify it. But it's also like self-talk, like negative self-talk too. Like I'm not good enough right. So there's tools of that. Well, why am I not good enough? What now you start asking questions that are relevant to but I've accomplished this. I do this. This is who I am. And then sometimes some of the tools are you recognize what's going on. I'm recognizing my behavioral pattern of depression or my behavioral pattern of anxiety, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get out of it. Doesn't mean necessarily there's something wrong with you. It's just you're trying to learn how to understand what it is you're feeling. And it's the same thing with anything. It's the same thing with business, the same thing with marketing, the same thing with being an artist. You have to understand what you're doing. It's like if you're writing a story and you're like, I'm going to write off the top of my head. I'm going to, okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. All right, now I'm looking at a screen. All right, well, what happens here? All right, it'd be cool if this happens. Oh wait,
giant spider.
That can't happen because and a giant spider. I know. I'll make him a clown.
Perfect.
Sold. And it's the idea of anything that we do. We have to have direction in it, but we also have to be our truth, and truth will always outweigh like motivation. Like what do I want out of this? So truth will always outweigh that. The motivation is like, if I post this, I hope I get 30 likes. Well, now you're not posting your adventure. You're posting
to try and get likes.
Yeah, your intentions are not pure. And marketing has to be pure. Is it pure? Yeah, no. I mean, like when McDonald's is like, oh, I'm loving it, and they're showing people eating. The purity is that they're trying to connect with people, but it's a business. And
I
at
got a
that
question.
point, go ahead.
Like the whole topic of McDonald's. If McDonald's offered you money to be in a commercial for them, would you be in a commercial for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
I mean,
I'm not against meat.
yeah, but you're against eating McDonald's.
Yeah, but I'm not against meat.
Yeah, but you're against eating McDonald's.
I don't like McDonald's, but that doesn't mean people who eat McDonald's are idiots.
But so how is it that you would be okay with doing a McDonald's commercial, but you would not do, say, like a Budweiser commercial?
Oh, because McDonald's will not make you crash into somebody by jumping the curb and killing a 16-year-old on a bicycle like they did to my father's uncle.
But McDonald's will potentially give you cancer.
Well, that's fine. That's your choice. But alcohol makes you affect other people's lives.
Ah, I see.
Okay? Inhibitions are gone. Your control's gone. But McDonald's, that's you. You choose that. Everyone deserves the chance to choose what they want to do. But the moment your choices influence the possibility of others being hurt, I don't support. No, it's not that you're. I just don't. I don't support it. If you want to do drugs, do drugs. But the reason I don't do drugs is I want to be in control of hurting people. So
or not hurting people.
No, I said it right. I would like to hurt people.
Good night,
very badly. Very badly.
Good night, everybody.
So but alcohol is you choose to drink it, but if you get drunk enough, you're not in control. You know what I'm saying? You might be in control where you just I'm in control. I didn't get off the couch. You didn't choose to stay on the couch either.
I mean, unless you were like, I'm going to stay on the couch and then got drunk.
Well, sure. There are variables to everything. But yeah, that's why I would do a McDonald's commercial and not an alcohol commercial. But I wouldn't eat the food. I would be like, all right, we're going to have to get a real hamburger in here, which they do all the time. Sometimes vegans, because they need the money, they don't have control over their brand. They'll do a McDonald's commercial because they need to pay their bills, but then they make them a vegan, like a veggie burger, which is they do the same thing with alcohol. People don't drink, and they're like, I'm going to need a fake liquid, and they drink it when they're acting. Some people drink on set because they don't care. Some people smoke real cigarettes. Some people don't, so they have the fake cigarettes, right? So there's options to doing certain things. I also wouldn't do it. I've auditioned for a couple characters and like, yeah, so you're going to be smoking a cigarette in this scene. I was like, well, I'm probably not the guy for you then. I'm like, why not? Because I don't promote smoking. Why? Because secondhand smoke. You're not in control of your death. You're in control of other people's deaths by infecting them with your secondhand smoke. And to me, I try not to promote smoking. Unless of course it's in a bad way. Like if I was playing a character that was smoking and they died of cancer, I would play that character. If they were killing other people around them, I'd play that character. Like because in my head
that portrays the message which you most believe in.
Exactly. Same thing with alcohol.
Cancer is an assassin. Cigarettes are an assassin. Wait. I have a theory.
All right, go ahead.
Have you ever smelled?
All right, good night, everyone.
Oh my god.
No, go ahead.
Have you ever smelled?
Every day.
A pack of cigarettes.
Oh yeah, of course. My parents smoke.
So you've like without them lighting it, you've been like, oh, this is an unlit cigarette.
Well, because I could smell a pack of cigarettes if it's on the table.
Okay, so cigarettes smell like raisins.
They smell like tobacco.
They smell like raisins. If you were to open up a pack of raisins,
which I have, I like raisins. They smell like tobacco.
Tobacco smells like raisins.
What? The cigarettes you're smelling probably smell like raisins, but Marlboro doesn't.
It totally smells like raisins.
Oh my god! What do raisins smell like? Tobacco?
Yes.
Get out of here! You just said it smells like raisins.
Yeah, raisins smell like raisins, which therefore smells like tobacco because tobacco smells like raisins.
So do tobacco smell like raisins, or tobacco smells like tobacco, and raisins smell like tobacco?
Either way,
it can't be both.
Either way, raisins give you cancer.
That's grape.
That's great. You're welcome, everybody.
Oh, I'm done. All right, let's call it a night. All right, I'm Thomas J. Bellezza. This is JD McGibney, and I don't make this stuff up.
I make up at least half of it.
Yeah, and the dog makes up like I would say 75%.
Yeah. Although I do think that we made a really good decision being in a different room than him. That's why we don't have to worry about him being the farts.
Oh yeah. That's a little upsetting. It's cold down here. It's not too cold. Actually, I'm kind of warm. My feet are a little cold. I want to fix this camera though. Look at this. Look at this background. See, if you look at this camera, look how bright the red is. Look how pretty that is. But this one, I wonder.
You know, I really like this setup, by the way.
I do like this setup. I wonder if we put light on. No, because you have to. I definitely have to figure it out.
All right.
I'm gonna figure it out. Anyway,
Okay.
all right. Good
night,
night, folks.
everybody.
And remember, JD McGibney is definitely a solid 25% in the bedroom.
I mean, statistically speaking.
Statistically speaking, 25% of the time, you're gonna have the night of your life.